So let me pick up on, again, this is chapter 4. Let me do some of these exercises in the back of the book, and I'll get you started some of the concept with this as well with it. I want to look at number 4 here. If you look at number 4 in this, let me clear out this right here for a moment. And I want you to see that let's do part A. It says, suppose that string that declares str1, str2, and str3 are string variables with it. And you have the first string is low, the second string is high, uppercase L, uppercase H, and string 3 is medium. Evaluate the following expression with it. So let me just put it in a string for you in the top over here. They're in double quotes, and the first one is going to be, the first string is going to be low, right? And it's less than, closing my quotes, equal to my string number 2, str2, closing that quote with it. So how does this evaluate with it? Again, you look at your first character in this. This is the uppercase L, and this is an uppercase S. Go to your table. There's a table in your book with it. You don't have to memorize any of the tables with it. I will provide you all the value numbers in here. You look up your uppercase L is what? 76, right? So this is 76. Is that equal, less than or equal to an uppercase S? Uppercase S is 83. Again, this table is on page 190. So is this a true or false statement? Of course, this is true, right? You see that this is an expression that is true with it. Well, let me throw you something that's a little bit more advanced in this with it. So let's say I came across and I asked you, which string is and you come over here is Dan less than or equal to, yeah, I'm just going to use my name because there's a couple of words that you can see. So if you look at the first one, uppercase D is what? 68. Okay, so this is also 68. You agree? Because it's uppercase D. You look at the next letter. This is what? Lowercase a. Again, I'm looking at page 190. 190 lowercase a is 97. And then I would look at, this is the next one it compares. This is also 97. And then I would come down to the next one over here. And you compare lowercase n is 110. And then you look at this letter O over here is 111. Alright, so is this a true statement or a false statement? Well, you evaluate, until it becomes both sides now. This is 110, 115. So of course this becomes what? A true statement. Okay, so just to give you something to think about what and how things work with it as well. Again, the rest of the chapters is pretty self-explanatory. You have the answers to the odds. I just want to demo and some of the stuff that we talked about in here with it. So make sure you understand a couple of these exercises with it. I'm just going to skip around and do some stuff with you. If you have a question, please send me a question from this with it. Let me come down here. So that was part number 4 with it. If you look at this part right here, if you look at this right here, this is just a string that's coming out, but this is the actual expression right here. You plug what happens when you plug in this expression inside of, find my tool here, my paint here. And if you can, let me do file new, clear the slate right here with it. And if I want to plug in some numbers over here so you could see, 25 is x, so let's say you put 25, does that equal to z? I'm sorry, z is 12, right? So what is this output would be? Okay. Well, first of all, it's asking you, is both sides equal? And it's not, so it is false, right? And you're going to output basically a 0. So z x equal z colon with a space, and you're going to have a 0 at the end of that. Can you see that? So that's part A with it as well. So yeah, just kind of see what that expression, plug it in. What is the outcome for it? Remember now, here's the not. Here's this not right here. So let me try this one with you as well with it. So let me move this up here with it. So the expression is y. What's your y? Y is 3 equal, or I'm sorry, not equal to z is 12. 12 minus 9. So it's going to be 12 minus 9. So look at this expression with it. 3. I'm just going to simplify this to 3. Now, if you look at this 3, does it equal 3, and you not it? So this becomes what? A false. Okay. So that's my point I'm telling you, is that's false. So 3 does not equal because it's negated. Okay, that's what that means with it. Now, on the other hand, if I had, okay, like this, well, sure, it becomes true. But I replace one of these symbols with the exclamation mark, it just flips that bit to a false. All right, so that's what that's about with it. Okay, cool. So practice this a little bit more on your own if you want with it. Let me see if I can find out some more problems for you to take a look at. You're going to see a lot of these repeat in here as well with it. So I want you to make sure you understand with some of the stuff that we do in here. Make sure you do your readings and don't jump into these problems, and you have an issue with it. So let me come down here and pull up here some of the problems here with it. Take a look at, for example, which of the following are not relational operators? I'm telling you, there's two sets, relational and what's the other one? Logical, right? So in here, this is a relational. A is relational, right? A is the relational with it. Look at D. All right, look at C. All right, the question is not relational operator. So the only two that is not is the C, this one, and E are the two. Okay, are not relational. So C and E with it. All right. Plug in some of these things to test out your expression with it. Now, in the if-else statements with this, in the if statements that you have, this has to be true before it enters this block of code. So here's something I want. This is a really good exercise I want to show you on this one with this. Well, let me open up my my writing pad here. I want to demo some of the stuff with you on the side of this with it. I want you to look at this one right here, for example. All right. So in a structure that you have, before we approach this, I want you to come over here. If this is an if statement, you have two types of statement. So let's say this evaluates out to be a true. I'm going to just hard coded true, and it's going to come down here, enter the statement, do statement. I'm going to do statement 1 semicolon. Okay, so that's one statement with it. Now, if I have multiple statement, let me just rephrase that. Redo this. What if I did statement 1 semicolon statement 2 semicolon statement 3 semicolon. Well, the way how it's written right now, I don't have any curly brackets in this thing, right? So what do I mean by that? They're called block. They're the left curly brackets and the right curly brackets. This is very important for you to understand. So there's a difference between with curly brackets and without curly brackets. So this is without curly bracket. The way how it's written right now, guess what statement will we only be executed? Only here. Stops right here. Alright? If I want it to read statement 2 and 3, what do I have to do? I have to put in my curly brackets in here. So try and get this thing right here. So here, inside of this right here, I will open up the left curly brackets, and coming down here to the right curly brackets. Again, these are closed with semicolons over here. I lost that semicolon with it. So if I want to read every one of these statements, then I need to put curly brackets left and right in there. Now, this is very important for you to see as you go across this. It's in your reading somewhere with it. So take a look at some of the stuff that we're going to look at here with it. All right? So I want you to get a hang and the feel what's going on with this. So given what I just shared with you, let me do some of these problems with you. So if you had an if statement and you did I have to flip back and we get into chapter. What is a plus sign here? So here's that syntax I have with it. So if the first expression is a plus, which is what? Which comes out to be values 43, less than the minus, which is 45. I'm doing that number letter A with it. The plus and the hyphen or the minus with it is 45. And is this true or not? Of course, this evaluates to a true, right? So if it evaluates to a true, I enter the C out. I output what's called the plus and the minus. And that's what's going to appear on the screen. Cool? Now, if you look at the plus and the minus in this, and then you come out and has the C out statement and a minus and a plus again with it. So what does this mean? It's going to do another one of these things. Alright? So let me rewrite this so you can see what I'm talking about with it. Hang on. So let me do this. So over here, you have this. I'm going to do if 43 less than 45, and then you have your C out stream insertion operator, right? And then outside of this, you have your C out minus plus with that string and the NL with it. Okay, so this evaluates to true, right? That's what we said, right? It's going to output what? It's going to output the indentation of that line of code. So you're going to have a plus and a minus. But then again, you have another cout statement that's outside of that that tells you to continue to do a minus and a plus. So this is what's going to appear on your screen for 7A. Does that make sense? So kind of have a sense on how that works with it. Let me do another one for you. I'm just going to do the cout. I'm sorry. The next one is B. I think it's part B with it. So B asks you to basically is if you have 12 divided into 2 equal to 4 plus 1. I want you to take a second on this, and it says I want you to do a cout on number 6 and cout, sorry, this whole string of 12, whatever it is, NL. I'm running out of space, sorry. I want you to pause the video for me. I want you to output what do you think B is going to be, and then we're going to check answers together. Okay? Okay. So the book purposely indents in both of these lines here, right? And I want you to see that. Let's evaluate this expression right here. What is 12 divided into 2 is what? 6, right? So that's going to be what? 6 does that equal to 5? You agree? And of course, the outcome for this is what? False, right? It's not 6 does not equal to 5. And when it does that, it basically ignores this line of code right here. It goes directly from here into this line right here. So it's going to output what is the actual line that you have. Is what is that line here? Is output 12 divided into 2, not equal to 4 plus 1. That's what's going to output. Okay. So that's how that works with it. Cool? Yeah? Okay. So try out a couple of these things with it. Now, I'm not going to do number 7 for you, but there's an NL here, so it moves the cursor to the next line. That's all that does with it as well. So just to play a little bit around with it and make sure you understand how that works with it. Okay, cool? Yeah? All right. I'm approaching 16 minutes here, so I'm going to stop the video.